Forget Manchester City Centurions, the Arsenal Invincibles and Manchester United's Treble winners. In this video we're focusing on the teams at the other end of the spectrum. Here are the worst sides in Premier League history. 5. Norwich City, 2019-20, 21 points, minus 49 goal difference. The term yo-yo club was invented for Norwich City. They've spent much of the Premier League era bouncing between the top two divisions. In fact, the Canaries and West Brom are the only clubs who've been relegated from the Prem 5 times. Their most recent demotion was the worst of the lot. Norwich won the championship easily in 18-19. They should have been able to compete in the top flight. The Canaries got off to a decent start. They lost 3 of their first 5 games, but also beat Newcastle 3-1 and Manchester City 3-2 in the early weeks of the season. That victory over Pep Guardiola's side suggested survival was well within their capabilities. Unfortunately for Norwich, that was as good as it got. They only won 1 match in the next 4 months. After a 1-0 victory over Leicester at the end of February, Norwich moved to within 4 points of safety. An unlikely escape act seemed possible, but Norwich lost each of their last 10 matches and scored only 1 goal in that time. Daniel Farke's side suffered 27 defeats in 2019-20. They simply weren't cut out for life in the Premier League. But remember, Norwich are the quintessential yo-yo club. True to form, they won promotion again the following season. 4. Aston Villa, 2015-16, 17 points, minus 49 goal difference. Aston Villa looked destined for the drop in 2014-15, but Tim Sherwood oversaw a great escape to keep their heads above water. Villa fans were excited to see what Sherwood could do in his first full season as their manager. They shouldn't have got their hopes up. The gilet-wearing gaffer was sacked in October. Villa were in the relegation zone when Sherwood left, but there was still time to save their season. All they had to do was get the next appointment right. They failed spectacularly. Remy Gard was out of his depth and alienated many of his players with his strange methods. Apparently, he once told Jack Grealish off for smiling. Villa beat Bournemouth on the opening weekend of the season, but their next win wasn't until January the 12th. They beat Norwich a month later but collected just 1 point from a possible 39 between mid-February and the end of the campaign. Gard was sacked in March as Villa accepted their fate. They ended the season with just 17 points, an embarrassing return for a club who were once European champions. 3. Huddersfield Town, 2018-19, 16 points, minus 54 goal difference. Huddersfield sprung a surprise when they won promotion to the Premier League in 2017. They upset the odds again by staying up the following year. Paul Merson had to dress up as Gonzo from the Muppets on live TV after losing a bet that Huddersfield would go straight back down. They couldn't avoid relegation forever though. In 2018-19, Huddersfield earned an unwanted place among the Premier League's worst ever teams. All of a sudden, David Wagner's formula seemed to stop working. Huddersfield's pressing tactics became less effective as opponents figured them out. The lack of quality within the team was ruthlessly exposed by virtually everyone the Terriers came up against. Huddersfield won just 3 games and finished with only 16 points to their name. The board replaced Wagner with Jan Siewert in January, but there was no new manager bounce. In fact, things got even worse. Carlan Grant finished the season as Huddersfield's top scorer, despite only arriving in January. That sums up their lack of quality in the final third. Huddersfield went down with their tails between their legs, but at least they have the memories of that first season back in the Premier League. 2. Sunderland, 2005-6, 15 points, minus 43 goal difference. Only 2 clubs have been relegated from the Premier League more times than Sunderland. The Black Cats are used to going down, but nothing could prepare their loyal supporters for the sheer ineptitude of the Sunderland side of 2005-6. Mick McCarthy's team had bossed the Championship the year before. Sunderland finished on 94 points and won promotion as the champions of the second division, but they just couldn't adjust to life at the top table. Sunderland lost their first 5 games, then went 3 matches unbeaten. Was this the start of a revival? Nah, not quite. Sunderland collected just 1 point from their next 13 games. McCarthy clung on as manager until February, but Sunderland's fate was already sealed by the time Kevin Ball took over as caretaker boss. From October the 29th until the end of the campaign, the Black Cats were bottom of the league. They won only 3 games all season, with just 1 victory in front of their fans at the Stadium of Light. Even the most optimistic and upbeat of Sunderland fans couldn't take any positives from this dismal season. 1. Derby County, 2007-8, 11 points, minus 69 goal difference. You know, whenever a team makes a poor start to a Premier League season, pundits wonder whether they might be even worse than the Derby County side of 2007-8. They never are. Time and time again, Derby's embarrassingly low tally of 11 points is surpassed, even by sides who finish bottom of the league. Derby weren't just responsible for the lowest ever points return in the Premier League. They also won the fewest games, lost the most games, conceded the most goals, and finished with the worst goal difference of all time. Their only moment of joy was a 1-0 victory over Newcastle in September. After that, the rubbish Rams went 32 matches without a win. Derby won the Championship playoffs the previous season, but promotion probably came too soon for them. Their squad was short of top-flight quality. Their top scorer was Kenny Miller, but he only managed 4 goals. Their main summer signing, Robert Earnshaw, found the net just once all season. Billy Davis, the manager who got them up, left in November. Paul Jewell replaced him, but he was unable to steer the sinking ship to safety, and Derby's relegation was confirmed on March the 29th. It was the first time a club had been relegated from the Premier League before April. Poor old Derby haven't been back to the top tier since.